Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm gonna talk what orchid should I buy? If you don't have experience in growing orchids and maybe you see a beautiful orchid at someone's room and you find these flowers so incredibly beautiful and want to own one, but you don't know where to start or which one to acquire first, is there any difference? So in this video, I will tell you a little bit about orchids that I think you can buy locally. They are affordable and they are good for your environment, especially if you have no experience with orchids. So that's my intention today. And I was inspired by this beauty here that I bought locally yesterday. Just to let you know, I live in London and yesterday was Mother's Day here in the UK. So I am so glad that I got this tiny beauty in the local supermarket. So let's talk about which beauties should we acquire first, especially before we gain any experience. To start, let's think about the environment. Where do you live? That's very, very important. So I will start talking to people that live somewhere very close to where I live. So let's say that you live in a temperate climate, in a place where you have intermediate temperature inside your home all year round. I'm not counting here with people that have gardens, that have outdoor areas, because that's a little bit different and I'm not going to be covering that on this video. My intention here is to talk about orchids that we can grow indoors inside our homes. So if that's your case and you live somewhere similar to where I live, I would advise you to start getting one of these cute Phalaenopsis or moth orchids. They are great plants for beginners, and more than that, they are pretty affordable where I live. If where you live, you can find Phalaenopsis in garden centers, supermarkets, and they are affordable, that's perfect. You should start with them because they grow amazingly well inside our homes, and usually they won't offer you a super hassle to grow these plants. If you want some beginner's tutorial, if you offer it some water when it needs to be watered, place it in a bright shaded location or simply in a bright location, these plants will love and they grow and they will bloom for you yearly. On top of that, there are so many Phalaenopsis out there, so many hybrids. You can start with a big one, with a small one. You can choose the one that suits your taste if these plants are available for you. So taking these beauties out of the way, which other orchids can you buy if you live in a place, let's say, with intermediate temperature all year round? And the answer is, ta-da! The second one here, oh my gosh, you cannot even see the flower. It's flower spike. These are called the forever blooming orchid. This is a Paphiopedilum pinocchio. Let's put it back. So Paphiopedilums are also great orchids if you want to grow something that will grow nicely for you. Usually they are not very difficult to grow and to care for. They go well under low light as well, but you need to offer some light. It's not in a dark spot. If you offer some light, some water, it needs a little bit more water. But more than that, you don't need to offer drop down in temperature or any super specific conditions. They are very easy to grow orchids. And again, if Paphiopedilums are the type of orchids that you can find locally for a good price, there are many hybrids out there. Some of them have a beautiful foliage. I think Paphiopedilum is a great option for people that live in intermediate climates as well. The only disadvantage for Paphiopedilums is that some of them are slow grower orchids, so they may take a long time to rebloom for you. So if you want something that will bloom for months non-stop, go with Phalaenopsis. If you want to try something different, there are terrestrial orchids out there. Go with Paphiopedilum. And the third and last option for people that live in temperate climates with intermediate temperature, plants that are pretty affordable and easy to grow, is the Oncidiums intergenerics. So Oncidiums intergenerics, when we are in a climate like that, they tend to grow super well. They are a wide range of intergenerics out there, and they are pretty affordable where I live as well. They come with flowers with different shapes. Some of them are very much fragrant. We have smaller ones, more compact, a super large one with long leaves. We have a little bit more compact ones. If you're a beginner, start with one of them. These are hybrids, but just a caveat here, don't go with Miltoniopsis and Oncidians. Twinkles, for example, I would start with big one of these hybrids that we find everywhere. Some of them have star-shaped flowers, other have large flowers, other will push out spikes with tiny flowers, but many flowers. With the type of environment that I have here, that's not exactly very hot all year round. The temperature will fluctuate around 20 degrees Celsius inside my flat. If I offer them water every week, they will keep blooming, producing new growths, and producing more and more leaves and becoming massive creatures. The only disadvantage is that they need their space and they need a little bit more light than Phalaenopsis and Paphiopedilum. So you might have one bright window or maybe some growing lights. That's the only disadvantage, but if you have a little bit more a brighter light for them, they will grow non-stop in your environment. That's why they are a third option. So let's talk about other environments. So now let's imagine that you live in a flat or in a home with no garden, but it is in a hot climate space. Maybe you live in a Mediterranean country, maybe you live in a tropical country. I am from a tropical country, so I can let you know that I know how hot it gets. I know the temperature will not only fluctuate around its 20 degrees Celsius, it can get easily to 35 or even more. So, in this specific case, I would tell you to leave the windows open whenever you can, because then you have more air circulation. I cannot do this here all the time because the temperature gets very low. But if you're in a place where you can do that, plants simply love it. Another thing that you have that's available for you is probably light. So you can enjoy bright light, can offer bright light to your plants easily, which is another great thing, especially if you live in a tropical or very hot country, that I cannot offer here all year round. So you have this advantage on your side, and you should use them when you're choosing your orchid. So, for example, I was in Brazil, and what I noticed in Brazil is that you have cattleyas for sale in supermarkets, for example. So, if that's the case of the country where you live, if you have cattleyas for sale, go for them. They are known as the queen orchids, and they are magnificent. They are beautiful. They have fragrance. They had a wide range of different colors. I have here someone who is close to a cattleya. That's a Brassicatleya. That's a hybrid. So Brassivolas and cattleyas that are very close. They are perfumey plants with a wide range of different colors. What they require to grow is bright light and also a little bit of warmth. They need to dry out between their waterings, so they are perfect for hot environment. And I would super consider getting one cattleya if that's one orchid that you would enjoy around you. Yes, I think you should go for them. My other option here, if you live in a hot climate and you want to try your first orchid, I would also tell you that maybe you can get a beautiful Vanda. You know, one of these big orchids that produce these massive flowers, and they are so gorgeous, so beautiful. They are from Asia, and they are super tolerant to heat as well. Some of them can be found locally, and they will be a great addition to your home. The only disadvantage is that these plants, they can be massive. You need the space for them, so consider your space. Or otherwise, you can look for smaller Vandas or Audacious orchids, especially the hybrids. They will do super well in bright light conditions and hot environments. And to conclude, I would also tell you that the Dendrobium Phalaenopsis are great additions for hot environments if they are cheap as well. Why I'm talking about the price? Because you should look around, see which plants are available for you. Start with them before going and spending lots of money on orchids. Try to learn with the ones that you have locally because they will teach you a lot about your environment and about the care that they need before you adventure to buy something else. That would be my main tip here. So Dendrobium phalaenopsis, like Cattleyas and Pandas, they enjoy drying out between waterings, bright light, and they don't need to be watered all the time. They get well with hot environments as well. They don't need drop-down temperatures to rebloom. They are not seasonal plants, and they will keep out branching out and pushing out beautiful flower spikes. So these are the plants that I would definitely recommend if you live in a hot country. You can try Phalaenopsis as well, the morph orchids that I started this video with. But if you don't have any drop down in temperature, let's say you live very close to the equator and the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius all year round, don't go with Phalaenopsis, the Phalaenopsis hybrids that we see in supermarkets because they require a drop down in temperature to be able to bloom. But if you do have some sort of winter where you live, Phalaenopsis is another great addition because they are very easy to look after in most environments. So this was my video for you today, especially if you have no experience with orchids. We have a wide range of orchids that colonize so many different environments. They are so amazing to look after. They can really bring joy to your home. At least they do bring joy for my home. I love to see these plants in bloom. They bright up my day. They make me feel so glad when I know that I'm looking after them. So I hope you enjoyed this type of content. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know which orchid did you buy recently? Did you buy any orchids locally? What was your first orchid? Mine was definitely Phalaenopsis. And without further ado, I leave you here and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!